are big issues which I know that you have on the front on immediately your plate. I mean, Belly had the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. Well, Belly was sworn in, and then the issue in Niger came up. You know, democracy is a very big issue across not just Africa now, but around the world. People are, you know, having many more questions around democracy and what it delivers. But before we go to, you know, the issues of coup, I wanted to take you up on this issue of the CSU matter and, you know, what it does for our image, you know, across, you know, outside of the shores of Nigeria, because this matter has now been raised in faraway United States of America as to whether or not our president attended a university there and whether or not he presented the right certificates here. I mean, all of this, do they cast a shadow on some of the international engagements that the president has had?
Oh, not at all. We met with several world leaders. Nobody is wasting time about, you know, certificates and qualifications for somebody who has been the governor of a state, served 2 terms, you know, has been on the national stage as a politician. You know, you remember the same, President Buhari had to go through the same thing, where people were actually questioning whether he went to secondary school or not. Someone who had classmates who was captain of his, whatever, he was head boy and all of that. So there's a tendency to always, you know, try to distract, to detain people on such, you know, frivolous issues, as opposed to facing the major issue of development. We don't have time to waste on that. And, you know, the foreign leaders that we've been engaging and the international organizations clearly are disinterested in wasting time on such things. So we pay no mind to that. Nigerians should focus on development, and every Nigerian, because of the critical state we're in at the moment, you know, our population growing at 3% per annum, you know, the economic challenges we're facing, we shouldn't be wasting time about whether, you know, some certificate, whether there's a T missing somewhere or some I hasn't been dotted. That should not be our primary focus at the moment.
You know why I asked that? Because we do know that, I mean, we know that the cloud over this elections, the last elections, are yet to settle. And as a result of that, some people are saying that it could have an effect on the engagement that the president could have with international leaders. Give you an example. When the president was going for G20 or so, we understand that he was supposed to be meeting with the US President, Joe Biden, but that engagement did not happen. Or was it on the sidelines of UNGA? I'm a little unclear now, but I do know that there was a statement put out by one of the president's aide, the media aide, saying that you know, the president was going to be having an engagement, but that didn't happen. And there were speculations as to why that didn't happen. And they're saying, oh, maybe it's because they want the cloud of all of the electoral matters to settle before, you know, we can now begin to see world leaders confidently engaging with the president of Nigeria. Is that correct?
It's a misunderstanding of how these things work. When you attend these global events, you have side meetings. And those side meetings are usually not more than 10 minutes, like fast-speed dating. So the proposals are made, sometimes at the last minute. So President Tinubu met with a lot of world leaders. At the same time, there were some that were scheduled to meet him that he did not meet. So it is structured in such a way that you have proposals made, and then sometimes at the last minute, you cancel. There's a world leader that was supposed to meet President Tinubu and then tested positive for COVID and had to cancel. For instance, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not saying it's President Biden, but, you know, these are the sort of things that happen. There was some that wanted to meet us. We couldn't because of the timing, the exigencies, you know.
Yeah, but considering the fact that that one was publicized, I don't know if that particular meeting with the US president was publicized and it didn't happen. Do you think that it also had been a clarification as to why it didn't happen?
They already met in India. They met at the G20. They had short discussions. Like I said, it's not more than 15 minutes. Like fast-speed dating, you know, boom, 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 in, out.
Did they achieve a lot in that kind of meeting?
Well, you have to also bear in mind that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a new president. So this is where you get to know each other, you know, because you meet each other routinely. So in some of these meetings, they're meeting for the first time. And they feel each other out. And then, yeah, clearly there are discussions. And then they delegate. Because in each of these meetings, every president has his foreign minister sitting next to him. So we follow up. And then if there are specific issues that they want to focus on, chances are the ministers or individuals that cover that sector are also present in the meeting. And then they follow up so that by the next time they meet, you know, you take off from where you left off.